Someone close to Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega should move close to them and whisper to Sabina that the circus being orchestrated at the Jubilee Party will narrow down to her oyster, and not even the master of chaos will be in to support her. Clearly, I can tell you in this podcast, for long the Jubilee wrangles have been attributed to a plot by William Ruto against the former president. But in a fresh twist, you will see how this is part of the continuous weapon by Rigathi Gachagua against the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Welcome to the bold analysis. Let them grab a seat next to Wafula Munyenyi and a Selisimin faction to understand lessons on how Kenyan political parties are very strong institutions, that the most difficult institutions to overtake in this country. Raila Odinga has the Fort Kenya certificate, but despite the fact that they had the backing of the deep state by then, they could not eject Moses Masika Wetangula. I listened to Moses Wetangula, the speaker, yesterday when he gave the speech, and of course Jubilee Party met the 18 membership threshold to be declared as a parliamentary party. But both CUNY and Kega faction gave communication over the removal of Sabina Chege. And I can tell you that she survived by a very small chance. And looking at it, when the reality will hit the ground, the masters will not help the daughter of Muranga. I want to get a soundbite of Moses Wetangula giving a verdict.
2. That I hereby grant the minority party a period of 30 days from today within which to convey appropriate communication on the replacement of its minority whip if it wishes. 3. That whereas the Jubilee Party meets the threshold to be recognized as a parliamentary party pursuant to Standing Order 20A1, I am hesitant to invoke this provision given the myriad correspondence received from the party with respect to its leadership and persons authorized to communicate on its behalf to the Speaker. I also give them a similar time to put their house in.
There are some interesting developments on this matter that I want us to pay attention to, and you'll see something. It actually points out to the narrative that external forces are actually deep inside it. As you speak now, Uhuru Kenyatta called for NDC in his capacity as the party leader, a position that is being challenged by Kega faction by the constitutional provision that president 6 months after office should not be involved in active politics, but it's not yet prescribed into what exactly it meant by active politics. There is a splinter group that has also gone to court to challenge that, but I don't want to look at it. The disciplinary committee is currently conducting its sessions in Fairview Hotel here in Nairobi, and they have summoned Jeremiah Kioni. But the questions are emerging on these meetings are supposed to be held in Jubilee headquarters, or if not, the alternative place, the bills should be paid, footed by the party itself. So the Jeremiah Kioni side are saying that disciplinary committee is sitting somewhere in Fairview Hotel, and no one knows who is even paying for their bills. The sessions should be conducted at the Jubilee headquarters. Now, I listened to a press briefing, and that shows you that there are those who are interested in it. In fact, if you just do your research, you will find out who is the ownership and what about it. When you listen to the press briefing where Sabina Chege was actually fattened for slaughter. This press briefing, you will see that faces of those people look people that have been very highly conflicted, and it is the press briefing that was called by a Yala member of parliament Kanini Kega to target Uhuru Kenyatta and install Sabina Chege as the party leader, as the acting party leader pending some dummy NDC that is supposed to happen somewhere. So you look at it, and I know someone might have told this faction of Jeremiah Kioni, this faction of Kanini Kega, that because Uhuru is leaving the party, Uhuru has been silent all along, there's nothing, they can just rush and take over the party. I wanted to listen to them, and I listened to this, I just reviewed it, and I realized that the whole thing about the Jubilee wrangles is a weapon that is sharpened against Uhuru Kenyatta. The long shot, the person that was ever targeted, even from the start of replacing the SG, that SG call was replaced so that he can also replace the party chairman who is the SG, the party leader, and maybe after replacing the party leader, the party will then be changed and be taken somewhere. There is a lot of dirty schemes in it, and I wanted to get the statements of one Kanini Kega.
5. That the matter of the misconduct of the former party leader is hereby referred to the National Disciplinary Committee of the party for their further action. 6. That the office of the party leader of Jubilee Party is hereby declared vacant. 7. That pending the convening of the Special National Delegates Convention, the Honorable Sabina Chege will be the acting party leader of Jubilee Party. 2. That the former...
Let me tell you, I want you to make this observation with me. Since there was some time that there were chaos at Jubilee headquarters, and since this day, when Uhuru Kenyatta came out guns blazing and chased the police from the new Jubilee headquarters, no single member of parliament on the Rigathi Gachagua camp has come out to attack and even react or respond to that, apart from few politicians who are just the opportunists of the moment to gain some momentous political capital. And the reports emerged that William Ruto himself confronted the police bosses, the CS Kindiki, and he wanted to know where orders for the police to even to be deployed, that place, the heavy contingent of the police to be deployed in that place came from. And it brought a lot of confusion, because even President Uhuru Kenyatta himself asked about the police presence in that place, and clearly Kindiki was aloof. So the orders came from some corridors, and these people were deployed there. You will see that even not a single member of parliament, even Ruto's camp, there are quite a few, the usual attackers, Uhuru Kenyatta attackers, came to respond about this issue. And let me say, even for the press briefing that you listened there, not even the acting party leader spoke. To Sabina Chege, this purported Jubilee coup is just a gun pointed towards former President Uhuru Kenyatta. To the daughter of the mountain, Sabina Chege, this is not one of the wars that is for you to fight. This is above you. And those who have had the privilege of being around Uhuru Kenyatta, some of us have interacted with, will always tell you that Uhuru Kenyatta is a very good man. He's very accommodative. You cannot compare Uhuru Kenyatta even with Raila Odinga or William Ruto. It's very accommodative. I don't think there's a problem by Sabina Chege supporting UDA and failing to attend the Mandamano. No one will even bother. But the extent of now going to take over the party in a ploy to make sure eject Uhuru Kenyatta is now overstepping your efforts. I want you to listen to this. Sabina Chege oozing some reacting the day they went to Jubilee headquarters.
I worked, and Kenyans know I moved in this country, and I would like to look at Uhuru Kenyatta and Baba on the face and ask, did Sabina sacrifice for this party? And so if there's something that has happened, it is noble for our seniors to call us and have a chance to talk to us. I also want to appeal to the party leader. You are our leader. It is important that you call all of us together. Let not other people, members of other political parties, have seen ODM. They're the ones who are harassing us. They harassed us in parliament. They took our positions. They have harassed us. They took our commissioner's position. Every communication that is done by Jubilee, it is disregarded.
Now, there is a point why I'm really sympathizing with the nominated member of parliament. Remember, the two questions that are emerging. So why are they taking the party? Okay, fine, they are taking it. Where are they taking the party? Is it being taken to UDA? Because there is already a pact with under the Azimio coalition. There have been a question of them losing the opportunities as members of the party, losing opportunities, chairmanship and positions. But clearly, there were signals that they were leaning towards the ruling coalition. So even the mistrust was already there. There are quite a number. They lost quite a number of opportunities. But then, this is it. And I want to draw a very clear interpretation about this development. To Sabina Chege, you will end up losing the child while fighting for the father. And this was a ploy to salvage your nomination as a member of parliament. And I totally agree that Sabina Chege really deserves that nomination. It was deserving. I understand at one point she was saying she was at the point of being nominated as Raila Odinga's running mate. And I think Raila was very wise to pick Karua, because imagine Sabina Chege was Raila's running mate. What would have seen? She would have crossed over to the other party maybe. Or maybe it would have changed the tide probably. That's also a reason so. And so, if she was at the point of, and she sacrificed, of course, going against the tide. I understand there were at one point she confessed that William Ruto wanted her to be the deputy governor, to take the deputy governorship position so that she could deputize Sakaja in Nairobi. But then, what you're fighting for is that nomination. I understand it would have been easy and better to fight to retain that nomination even without creating all the circus. During the Jubilee 2, there was an effort to revoke the nomination of Millicent Omanga and that of this Isaac Moura. Despite the fact that the ruling party Jubilee had majority, they had some good numbers, and also the backing of the opposition MPs, it could not be affected. The story spiraled around the courts and tribunals, and until the term came to an end. So this could still be fought, but being used in the front line to fight Uhuru Kenyatta is a war that would rather say, thank you, but I'm not part of it. This is an inside plot from Satan to also form a breakaway party in the mountain that could still have the blessings of Rigathi Gachagua to checkmate the UDA. As we talk, these members were supposed to be in UDA. Now, clearly what they are trying to do in Jubilee will not succeed. And after it fails, which party will they all? They cannot live and join UDA at the same time. Probably there will be what happened with Fort Kenya, to form some splinter party there, and that party will be kept somehow working with a working relationship with the UDA, and the fullness of time, when the nomination slots are available and then coming, it can be used. That's also something on the bay. But lastly, there is a plot to eject Uhuru Kenyatta and to suppress the political influence by making sure that he does not hold any party position. Checkmate. This is coming, Uhuru not to be part of the question. This is coming because when the Jubilee, the Kainin Kega faction are saying Uhuru Kenyatta needs to be removed, or they're actually replacing him because by constitution he should not hold a party position. Someone is also, who is also part of this, is also going to parliament asking for the perks, or rather retirement benefits, to be revoked because Uhuru Kenyatta already left, should have left active politics. So there are a lot of fights going on. The vector is pointing at Rigathi weapon towards Uhuru Kenyatta. And sadly enough, even this is not a war that Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega will lose in public. This is not your war. If someone wants to fight Uhuru, don't allow yourself to be in the front line, because you will be crushed. Uhuru is still moneyed in the stories. Uhuru is still influential. Uhuru can still cut deal with Uhuru Kenyatta, with William Ruto, and finish the Sabina Chege and the Kanini Kegas. I don't think it's wise. It's a matter of wait and see. Thank you for watching.